Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog, and today we're going to be discussing the effects of the coronavirus and the effects of the delay of the Expo 2020 on businesses in Dubai. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Welcome to another vlog, and today we have my very close friend Adel Sajan, who is the director of Danube Group. Danube Group is one of the largest UAE-based conglomerates. It's a global company with offices in multiple countries. They have a workforce of 4,000 employees worldwide. They're a 26-year-old company, and Adel Sajan is the son of the chairman, and he heads Danube Home. Danube has multiple interests in building materials, retail. They are one of the largest privately owned property development companies in Dubai, and they have businesses in all around the GCC, Africa, and Asia. With us on a live call, and I'm going to be asking him a few questions on how the coronavirus is affecting his day-to-day business and what the delay in the Expo means to Danube Group and what it means for the Dubai economy at large. Welcome Adel, welcome to my vlog, and this is the first time I'm having a guest on my vlog due to our stay home, stay safe campaign that the UAE is running. And unfortunately, because of this coronavirus, we're all on lockdown. How is the lockdown treating you?
Thank you, Farooq, for having me. I'm very privileged to be your first person as your Q&A, so I'm very, very happy. As you know, the lockdown, the COVID-19 is caused a massive global destruction to the health of the people and also to the economy. Personally, for us, having a business with more than 4,000 people in building materials, retail, and property, it has directly affected us in a very bad way. There are two different battles we are fighting. One is a financial battle where we have massive overheads as we have stores and warehouses across the region. So every day we've been talking to finance of how we can renegotiate with our landlords, renegotiate our contracts with our TPT, with different entities and suppliers and partners which we have. And luckily, we've got a lot of support from the business community where people are waiving off, April and even looking at May rentals. So that's giving us a huge, surplus. It's giving us a huge help in this time of crisis. The second battle which we're fighting, which is a more important battle for me, is the battle of health, where we need to look at the safety of the 4,000 people which we have, because that's very, very important for us. So since the early days of the COVID, as a company, we've taken many measures where we've installed, thermals. We've installed about 10 to 12 thermal scanners in our offices, in our warehouses, in our staff accommodations. We have health managers who go, especially in the blue collar camps, to make sure that the sanitation of the place is proper, to make sure that things are kept in place. We've tied up with different companies to do continuous sanitation of our warehousing, of our materials, of our showroom in the few places that our stores are open, so that our customers are safe, our staff is safe. So, all these efforts are going on. But the truth is, of course, business is down and it's taken a hit. And I just hope that this recovers in the next few months.
And inshallah, we all pray for the best. How has this coronavirus actually affected your day-to-day sales? Because I know you guys have different sections. I understand from the B2B section, it'll be a different story. On the B2C section, I'm sure you guys must be really suffering because your retail stores, are they all closed, or what's the situation?
No, so what's happened is, again, every country is treating it differently. It's a plus and minus. Most of our stores are standalone stores. We don't have stores in malls. And also because we sell building materials in our stores like sanitary ware, tiles, electrical, which in some countries, like for example in Oman, all our stores are shut, but the government is allowing people who supply sanitary and electrical to supply the material without calling the customers in stores. So now we have made some new contingency plans where we're doing WhatsApp marketing, we're doing e-commerce, and we're able to reach out those in-need projects, providing the specific materials. Talking about the UAE, again, since all our shops are outside the malls and we sell the building material items, we are allowed to keep some of the stores open to service the customers in that particular category. So again, but overall we've lost about 75%. We're predicting that we will lose about 75% of our revenue in the month of April.
Wow, 75% of revenue means your profit margin is completely diminished. And how are you treating the employees at a time like this? Because I mean, I've been reading a lot that this will result in a job loss. I mean, this month, okay, maybe a lot of businesses can survive a month or two, but first of all, nobody knows how long this will last. But let's say it lasts another 3 months, 4 months. How long do you think the recovery time will be for Danube Home and Danube Group at large?
Farooq, that's a very difficult answer to say, because of course we've looked out what's going to happen in 2 months and 3 months. But it's very difficult to predict how, for us right now, the safety of our staff is important. We've paid our entire March salaries in full. And our first priority is to look for the well-being of our staff. But again, for any business with massive overheads, it becomes almost impossible if you lose 70, 80, 90% of your revenue and your expenses. Yes, they might be reduced because of your rental reductions and this and that, but still there's a huge amount of expenses that remain there. So it's impossible for any business to sustain this for a very long period of time. So we're not looking that far ahead. And I just hope and pray that the COVID-19 at least reduces and diminishes in time in the next couple of months.
Well, coming on another side of your property development business, how do you think this will affect your property development business? Because as you know, Danube, as we all know, Danube Property is one of the largest private developers in UAE now, and you guys have a lot of developments that are already that are progressing quite well. And what do you think will be the future in the next 6 months, 1 year? How is Corona going to affect your property development business?
Okay, so, talking about the property, we actually launched our property about 2 weeks ago. Literally 5 to 6 days before, things got very heated up in the UAE. And we lucked out because 60% of our, 65 to 70% of our inventory got sold out in 3 days. And
Wow.
that's when the panic started in the UAE. But to be honest, even then, since then, we have almost 1 or 2 units being sold every day, which means that yes, there is a demand in the market. And to be honest, primarily we're targeting people who live in rented apartments, who want to get out of that whole rent scheme, or people who have a salary of 10, 15, 20,000, who want to save a small portion of the amount into investments. So there are still people looking for deals. There are still people who want to buy property. It's just that they're looking for a much better price. And the people who are selling are the ones who are dire need of money. So I don't think the property market has stopped. But yes, definitely there's going to be a slowdown because of this COVID-19.
Yeah, 100%. In our business as well, we are seeing that there are still people that are looking to buy distressed deals. There are business owners that are selling property due to their current business situation. There's a liquidity crunch, so a lot of sellers are selling. But as a development firm that is so big, employing hundreds of people, construction workers, how is the construction side of things being affected? Do you think that your projects will get, unfortunate, this is, I think, market-wide, but what about the delays in the projects? How are you guys going to combat that?
Being one of the leading building material companies in the region, we had a great start, to be honest, this year. Of course, because of the COVID-19, we've taken a big hit. But again, the government of UAE has allowed building material shops to be open, which means that our sales have reduced, but at least it's not come to a complete standstill as you've seen in many industries. Second thing is, again, because of the Expo being delayed, there will be a short-term loss, because there is a high chance that the contracts that were going in full swing, because there's a delay of 1 year, there's a chance that those contracts will be delayed, as they don't need the projects to be ready in October now. And if those projects get delayed again, they don't require the material. So there will be a small hit in the building material industry as well. But again, life moves on.
On another side of your retail business, because how do you foresee the effects of the delay of the Expo 2020? We've just got news a couple of days ago that the Expo might be delayed by a year. What are your thoughts about this?
To be honest, it won't affect my retail business as much, because my retail business primarily focuses on the domestic market of the UAE, because we're selling furniture, furnishing, garden furniture, home improvement items, which any home owner needs. So the expo getting delayed does not affect my domestic demand. So I don't think that's going to make any difference over there.
Yeah, plus I think a lot of people are even talking about how UAE itself has a big population now. We have 9.5, 10 million people nearly. Dubai itself has 3.3 million people. So I think there's a good amount of domestic demand as well. But yes, I think the income of the regular people will be affected. So I think it might cause some sort of hampering in the purchasing power. But I think that's going to be a global issue rather than just a very locally Dubai based issue. But that's one thing. Adil, what are your thoughts about Dubai's economy at large? And what are your thoughts about how this delay in the expo will mean to Dubai, not just to your business, but to Dubai as a brand, UAE as a country? UAE has become a global player now. We are no more a small GCC player anymore. UAE, this was the year of Dubai. Expo 2020 was supposed to be the year of Dubai, and now unfortunately with the with the loss in the oil prices, the downturn in tourism that is expected in the next 6 months or so, how do you think Dubai is going to be affected at large as a city?
You're absolutely right, Farooq. There's definitely going to be a negative short-term impact in the region. Like you mentioned, luckily for UAE is not dependent on oil as much as other countries, or Dubai is not dependent on oil. But yes, the tourism sector, the oil sector, the whole buzz of the expo, the COVID-19, this is going to cause a lot of destruction to the economy. But I feel the decision of postponing the expo is an excellent decision, which is taken at the right time. And the reason behind this is, the UAE government or the Dubai government loves doing everything the best. Whether it's with the biggest mall, the biggest tower, safety, education, they always strive for the best. And I have no doubt that the entire government would have planned this expo in a way that the entire world has never seen. I read that there are almost 192 countries, participating in the expo. They have so much going on. And even if had they decided to stay, even if this virus got curtailed in the next couple of months, a vaccine is not in the books for the next long time. So I think this decision of shifting the expo to the next year is amazing, because that way everybody will be having that peace of mind. We'll be having a full attendance from around the world, and Dubai is already a prized jewel in the entire global economy, and the expo is just simply going to add its value next year by doing that. So I think it's a good thing in the long run. Yes, in the short term, you're going to see a loss of business. You're going to see a little bit of a recession coming in, not only in UAE but also globally. But most businesses need to brace themselves. Most people need to brace themselves. Why I say this is, people now need to plan their finances much better. They need to be more shrewd about the way they spend their money, and they need to just make sure that their entire family is taken care of, because these next 6 months are going to be a little challenging. But I see that there's going to be a strong silver lining ahead.
I agree with you, man. I do think that next year, I think this year, in my opinion, is going to be the world is going to sort of enter into a recessionary period. And inshallah, next year, hopefully the economy shifts back, comes back stronger. And I'm sure, like you said, Dubai does everything the best. Dubai doesn't do anything, doesn't leave any stone unturned when it comes to putting itself on the map, on the global map. And I think Expo is definitely going to come back stronger than ever, and inshallah it's going to be an excellent show. There's no doubt about that, I think, in anyone's mind. Thank you so much, Adil, for your time. We've had a very, very interesting conversation, and I hope that all our viewers have thoroughly enjoyed this. So that was Adel Sajan shedding some light on how the coronavirus is affecting his business and what the delay in the expo means to Danube Group as a whole. I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog, and if you guys have, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try my best to keep making vlogs on shifting topics, and we're going to keep a close eye on how the corona situation evolves and what this means to Dubai as a city, Dubai as an economy, and most importantly to Dubai's real estate market and the global real estate market at large. Stay tuned, guys, and subscribe to my channel.